And 2 timeouts, 1:25 to go. Deep drop this time for Cunningham. Surveys, steps up, he'll run inside the 5 and will slide at the 3. 1:01 to go. 3rd and goal at the Redskin 3-yard line. Shotgun snap to Cunningham. Surveys, hit as he throws. Andrew Glover is there, and he's got it for the touchdown.
That drive could not have gone any better. It took plenty of time off the clock, and they're really starting to get the pass game going. This team has only, stuttered a little bit with only 1 punt in the first half, and Cunningham gets the ball off just in time. He's got the tight end wide open in the back of the end zone. Can't get much prettier than that.
Andrew Glover, not only with Robert Smith, but Glover is best half of the season. And it's the first touchdown of the year for the tight end Glover. Catch number 16 for him as well. And the extra point is good. The Vikings went 77 yards in 13 plays to claim a touchdown lead. That's the type of game that we expected out of Randall Cunningham. A phenomenal drive down the field. In fact, a phenomenal half. A man who's only thrown 3 incomplete passes and has these Vikings on top. 10-3 Minnesota with under a minute to go before the break. We take a look at the first half recap. Vikings lead 10-3, and the rushing offense at the beginning of this game really got things going, and the Vikings have established themselves, led by running back Robert Smith.
Offense, defense, special teams, and all the way down the depth chart, the Vikings have just outplayed the Redskins. It's almost amazing that they're only up by a touchdown. It feels like a lot more. We'll see if the Redskins have the firepower to get some points here with less than a minute and a half.
Nels returns from the 10, 15, 20, and he's wrestled down to the 25-yard line. Receiver Jake Reed was in there on the stop. The Redskins, despite being outlasted 21 minutes to 8 in time of possession, and don't even get started with the rushing yards, 6 times as many yards for the Vikings in that category. They could tie the game at 10 apiece. Chucks it over the middle. He's got Art Monk for catch number 1 today. And the Redskins will call their first timeout with 48 seconds to go before halftime. The Redskins are really getting things going here, Phil, especially this is a team that could just take a knee, but instead they're on the move.
Yeah, if you wanted to know how the Redskins offense has been going, in this game, and I told you Art Monk didn't get his first catch until 50 seconds left in the first half, it'd be a pretty good description, but as you can see here, they're on the move. Theismann finding some connections with his receivers. Second timeout, they're right at midfield. Let's see if they can at least get a field goal here. They got 1 timeout. They got a little wiggle room. Let's see if they can get some points.
Also, don't forget here, the Redskins will get the ball to begin the second half. This is a drive, if it nets points, that could put Washington in a real great position to try and, despite the dominant stat book by the Vikings, have a chance to really take the lead. On this drive, they could tie it at 10 apiece. The run by Riggins gains 5, and the clock is stopped with 37 seconds left in the second quarter.
Yeah, nice swing pass there to Riggins. Watch for the Redskins to work the sideline. Only use that last time out when they absolutely have to. They got 45 yards to go and not a lot of time to do it in.
Joe Theismann, despite the extremely effective play this game, no turnovers as well. He had 5 coming in. As Virgil Say will make it catch number 1, and he's out to the 40-yard line. No huddle time for the Redskins here. 3rd and inches, they're down to 24 seconds. Theismann looking to throw, fires underneath, and Virgil Say catches back-to-back passes, and he's ridden out with 20 seconds to go.
Yeah, that was essentially the same play, 2 plays in a row. This time he was able to get out of bounds. It was very good for them not to panic when he was tackled inbounds and use that timeout. They ran right to the line, ran it again, out of bounds. No harm, no foul. 10 yards later, they're keeping it moving.
Now, Vikings are 3-0 this year, but we all know the struggle point for this Minnesota team. If you can mix up the run and pass, this is a ball club that's given up over 325 yards over the first 3 weeks per game. Back to throw, Theismann, he'll just heave that one away. And with only 4 seconds elapsed, the Redskins get another shot at it, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, they don't want to waste too much time sitting in the pocket. That was smart of Theismann. None of his targets were initially open, so he threw it away. Lived to fight another down. Good call.
Shotgun snap to Theismann. Chucks it over the middle, and that pass is nearly picked off. Dwayne Rudd to bat it down. Now 3rd and 10.
Well, Rudd's celebrating. I don't know if his coach is going to be as happy because that hit him right in the gut. It almost looked like he fell asleep there. That could have been and should have been an interception.
3rd and 10 with 12 seconds to go. Underneath, Don Warren's got it inside the 30, and he tumbles all the way down to the 25-yard line. A critical pickup, and now the Redskins have 10 more yards to add for a Mosley field goal as the clock is stopped with 7 seconds left to go. You gotta love the drive by the Redskins. They traveled the length of the field in under a minute. Mosley from 42 of the right hash. Snap ball down, kick is on the way, and it is good. And the Vikings lead, but only by 4 at halftime. Vikings 10, Redskins 6. We'll send it up to the break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome to the Verizon Halftime Report. The Vikings lead 10-6. Look at the discrepancy in rushing yards as Minnesota leads that category 113-21, and it all got started on the Vikings' first possession. Robert Smith with 113 yards on the day. He would kickstart a drive. Matthew Hatchett would put him in the red zone, and Gary Anderson would cap it off with a field goal. Vikings lead 3-0. First Redskins drive midway through the opening quarter. Joe Theismann would find Charlie Brown to put him in plus territory, and the Redskins would cap off the march with a field goal. We are all tied at 3 apiece. Later on, in the second quarter, Randall Cunningham would end a drive that started from their own 20 with a touchdown to Glover. 10-6, the Vikings lead at halftime. Welcome back to TCF Bank Stadium as the Vikings hold a 4-point lead, but the Redskins get the football. And Phil, one more thing, they can take the lead with a go-ahead touchdown. This is a real critical drive coming out of the break for the Washington Redskins. It was great that they got a field goal to make things close as Nelms takes it out to the 23-yard line. That Redskin offense was a little sluggish, but they still have a chance to take a 13-10 lead. 7-man rush by the Vikings, and Theismann finds a wide-open Don Warren on the near side. And 15 yards later, the Redskins move the chains. It was too easy by Don Warren for a first down.
Yeah, great play call there. They expected that rush up the middle, by John Randall and company. The tight end went right to the outside, dumped it off. Decent day for him, 38 yards receiving.
John Randall, in fact, you mentioned he had 4 sacks last week in their win over the Bengals, but 0 today. In fact, 0 sacks by the entire Viking team. In the pass to Don Warren, another 15 yards, and the Redskins move the chains. We talked about the Redskins and how they could take the lead. Well, Washington is doing a very nice job moving the football.
Well, it seems that from about the first drive of the game, we expected the Redskins to need to make some halftime adjustments here because they were not prepared for this offense. It'll be interesting to see how that goes, but their offense is already doing better than the first half.
Single back is John Riggins, who's had almost 0 carries this half. Theismann chucks it long, and it's caught by Charlie Brown for a gain of 12. Brown with catch number 2 today.
Yeah, we've only seen 1 catch by Art Monk and 2 from Charlie Brown. There's only been so many passes to go around as they've been trying to play catch-up here. If they can get their wideouts involved on the outside, it'll leave room for Warren and Riggins even in the middle of the field to make some plays.
Well, at the half, the Vikings had over 21 minutes time of possession. The Redskins were looking at 8. And that was part of the 10-6 score for the Vikings at halftime. Over the middle, Riggins got it, breaks a tackle, and he rambles his way down to the 21-yard line. A punishing gain of 8.
Riggins is essentially playing a fullback, tight end, H-back role in this game. He hasn't had a lot of traditional carries, but they're getting him the ball other ways. It's good to see that they're still making him a part of the offense.
Straight ahead give to Riggins, and he's all the way down to the 15-yard line. Orlando Thomas saved what very easily could have been a run that's still going down the sideline. 6 yards and a first down.
Only his 3rd rush on the day. As I said, they gotten him the ball in other ways. But good first down. Now they got the split backfield here. Let's see what they come up with.
Theismann back to throw. Looking, chucks it over the middle, and John Riggins has got it inside the 10, down to the 9. Tackle made by Dwayne Rudd.
Just line him up at tight end already. He has more catches than just about anybody else on this team. 6 catches for 40 yards. He's really been one of the things keeping them going, along with the tight end Warren, just not in his traditional role. It'll be interesting to see if they continue to use him this way.
The Redskins have passed all but one time on this drive. Theismann with a pass rush coming. Hit as he throws. John Riggins has got it. And the Redskins counter with a passing touchdown to Riggins, his first on the season.
Teams find a way to get your playmakers the ball. If they don't get it in the traditional way, you find a way to get them out in space. Riggins not typically a guy that's going to run deep routes, but he makes a short route here, catches it in the middle of the field. Nobody brings down Riggins one-on-one, especially that close to the goal line. Good touchdown, and as good as the Vikings have been playing, the Redskins have the lead now.
It's about the same thing as a run there, Phil, as back-to-back-to-back passes went towards John Riggins, and that is part of a 7-play, 78-yard scoring drive. The Vikings have led as far as time of possession, rushing yards, complete dominance on the offensive side, yet the Redskins lead 13-10 Washington to begin the third quarter. Randy Moss fields this one from the goal line, upfield to the 10, a convoy to around the 19-yard line, and a gang of Redskins are there to meet him there. And the Minnesota Vikings have got a play from behind now early in the third quarter.
Yeah, you know, they had a pretty good drive here going into the half. They have to keep that going. I'd be a little irritated if I played as good as they have and don't have the lead. We'll see how they continue to do now.
Man to meet him and greet him, Mel Kaufman right at the line. May have gained a yard, but that's it. Robert Smith began the day really hot, but has gotten pretty darn cold over the last 10 minutes. That run gains about a yard. 2nd and 9, two tight end formation. The Vikings will operate with Moss and Carter pushed to each side. Back to throw. Cunningham flips it underneath. It's caught by Glover, and he's able to cut upfield for about a gain of 5.
Yeah, it's a nice little bailout route there. Cunningham felt the pressure. He dumps it off to Glover, and he only picks up 4 yards, but it's a lot better than a sack or an incompletion. If they can continue, this is a very rhythmic offense. They have to keep making passes, keep making runs, keep getting yards, and it's really what's going to keep them in the game.
What's interesting is that Chris Carter and Hall of Famer on the other side, Art Monk, have both combined for just 3 catches in this game. 3rd and 5, it's been by way of Andrew Glover today. Cunningham steps up, fires, and he's got Moss. Another 3rd down conversion. It took a long time to develop, but the Vikings gained 12.
Cunningham could have easily taken off here. He had room on that left side, but he was patient, stayed in the pocket, delivered a strike to Moss, and got more yards than he would have running. It's the patience of Cunningham late in his career that made this team so deadly in the 90s.
Vikings trail 13-10. Stretch play to Robert Smith, but he will not be able to get to the edge. The tackle right at the line of scrimmage by Mel Kaufman. Also Neil Olkowitz in there. No gain.
As good as this run game was to start the game, it's about that cold starting in the second half. They obviously got to give a few carries to not shy away from it, but it'll be interesting to see if they continue to give him as many carries as he did in the first half.
5-man rush over the middle. It's caught by Robert Smith, and a back shoulder grab for the running back moves the chains. 10-yard pickup for the Vikings.
Took a page out of Riggins' book there with the Redskins as they're using the running back as a receiver. Good play there. Again, if your playmakers are getting stopped, find other ways to get them the ball. It's been the theme of this game so far.
Well, to their credit, the Vikings, after back-to-back scoring drives by the Redskins, have been on the move. Over the middle, Carter's got it. Open inside the 20, and he's dragged down at the 18-yard line. A pickup of 35 yards to put the Vikings in the red zone. And what do you know, Minnesota can take the lead with a touchdown.
Next to Jerry Rice, in my opinion, the greatest receiver to ever play the game. The way he carries himself on and off the field, one of the greatest players to ever put on a helmet and some cleats. Chris Carter is going to be big in big-time moments, big 35-yard catch there to put them in the red zone.
Back to throw goes Cunningham, surveys, hit as he throws, and he's got a diving Matthew Hatchett who hauls it in inside the 10 down to the 6-yard line. 1st and goal.
Who makes a throw that precise while getting hit? Only one guy, Randall Cunningham. Nice catch there, not for a lot of yards, but it proves that he will stand in there. Now they're on the 6-yard line. He will stand in there, deliver the pass. We'll see if he delivers another one here.
Quick throw over the middle. Randy Moss is there. Touchdown, Minnesota Vikings. Moss hauls in his 3rd score this year, and the Vikings reclaim the lead.
Right back on top here. That drive could not have got any better. They've been firing on all cylinders. They start with the run game. They ran it until the Redskins stop it. They finally figured out how to stop it. They say, okay, time to go to the air. Everything they've done has worked so far. There's no other way to put it.
Well, we've talked a little bit about how the Vikings have been able to not exactly get the point production that matched the rushing yards, but it was about 110 free yards by Robert Smith that the Vikings didn't expect. What has really led this offensive explosion. Moss with catch number 5. His latest finds the end zone, and the Vikings lead 17-13 when the pressure after 10 unanswered points by the Redskins is back squarely on quarterback Joe Theismann. We'll see what that offense has in store. 6:03 left to go, third quarter. Phil Nunziata and Nick Price here from TCF Bank Stadium. The Vikings lead by 4, and the return by Clark reaches the 23-yard line.
You know, this game started off as a very ground and pound game on both sides, but we got an arena football style game going here. Both teams are flying, throwing that football, and this has been exciting so far. A great game between the two, very similar styles. A big chess match here. You do one thing, the other changes the other. It's just great so far.
Theismann hit as he throws, and John Riggins is upfield for about a gain of 5. We talk about one team passing the ball with regularity in the Redskins. Well, the Vikings got that. And you talk about the seesaw battle. It's Washington that's now using their passing game as a means of getting down the field, and Riggins makes a catch number 8 today. Phenomenal start for that Washington offense despite a 17-13 deficit. The Redskins can come right back to 500 with a win today. They can improve to 2-2. Riggins, catch number 9. It's a gain of 8. Moves the chains for the Washington Redskins.
If it's not broke, you don't fix it. They're just feeding Riggins the ball in any way they can. Still only 3 carries on the day, but he's got to have between 50 and 60 yards receiving at this point. Griffin's been in a lot of those collisions, making 3 tackles, most of them on Riggins. The Redskins are moving. If they're able to contain Riggins and, keep him in the slot, make them throw downfield and see if that doesn't change the pace of the game.
Delay give to Riggins, picks up a block, and he is all the way down to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 4, now 2nd and 6.
Well, they still have to do a few carries here just to keep the offense honest. Or the defense honest, excuse me. So if the offense can continue to mix this up, it'll really be their best bet. You can't throw on every down. They're eventually going to catch on.
Now, Vikings tight to the line, over the middle. Theismann's got it, and talking about keeping a team honest, they have been about as honestly quiet towards Art Monk and Charlie Brown in this game. To their credit, they've been able to stick with guys by the name of John Riggins and Rick Walker. That one moves the chains.
Yeah, they're both teams are using a lot of their role players here as the star players on the offensive defense are almost canceling each other out. They're really using the depth. It's showing the Vikings and the Redskins now that they have some depth, and it's not all about those guys you see on the cover.
It's been your typical chess match. Don Warren upfield for 9 and refusing to go down. Did he move the chains? Yes, he did. 10-yard pickup for the tight end. Not only have these guys been effective catching the football, but also they have shown the tenacity of a team that wants to win. 10-yard pickup.
Good game for Warren so far. He's been open, he's been sufficient, and he's even managed to break a few tackles here. Not much more you can ask from a tight end who isn't your typical superstar. He's really done everything he can to help his team so far.
He's been about as red hot as any in the DSFL as he leads the team. Yes, a team filled with Art Monk and Charlie Brown. Don Warren, 17 catches and a touchdown, and the handoff goes to Riggins, and a man who leads the team in rushing is out for a gain of about 8 yards. 2nd and 2. And the Redskins, following the Vikings score, are looking poised towards a touchdown to take the lead. 17-13 Viking lead. Handoff to the fullback, Joe Washington. And that's not your prototypical fullback partner. A 6-yard speed pickup and a first down.
Yeah, Joe Washington, the backup running back, thrown into the fullback position, and somebody that small in stature and quickness really caught them off guard. Breaks it to the right side, first down here. If they're able to get this run game going, that's their game. I know they have Art Monk and company, but running the ball is their game. If they get that going, they can pull the upset here at the end.
And this would be an upset of colossal proportions. Under a minute to go in the third, the Redskins trying to win just their 2nd game of the season, first in the last 3 weeks. Sideline pass to Virgil Say, and Dwayne Rudd runs him out of bounds. It's a gain of 4. The clock stops. 53 seconds left to go in the third.